And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, which we're going to be recording tomorrow, it's our start of our best of as far as pop culture for 2025 and worst of, indeed. As Josh Peterson goes first up, we find out what is the best and worst of his world in pop culture for 2025. Plus, we talk about the Christmas box office weekend, great results for A24's Marty Supreme, and how is Avatar Fire and Ash doing? We go ahead and talk about that on tomorrow morning's show, which we'll post on YouTube, but also as well, we'll be here. It'll post it up to Lakers Fast Break for members. It'll be on the Pop Culture Cosmos YouTube channel. And by noon, it will be available for everyone out there on audio on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. Plus, we will also go ahead and talk about the video game marketplace. I hear rumors that the video game console sales in North America are way down. Is this a panic time for the video game industry? We'll talk about that on the Pop Culture Cosmos as well. Also want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Drip Show at Drip Show Shop. He was part of our fun gang that was around Discord, hosted by Vari, aka Sports Baby, and also as well, of course, No Joker, aka El Rosto, and good big shout out to those guys that was there. But Drip Show was a great part of that as well, watching the game. Don't forget these great gifts that you can still give for someone in your life, whether it's pop culture or sports related. Don't forget the canvas arts right behind me with Luka and Kobe. And then, of course, Kobe and Gigi in his pillow. Whether you want a pillow made with such quality and detail like this, whether you want canvas art that's made with such quality and detail like that right behind me with Luka and Kobe, or a hat, shirt, you name it. It starts with following, of course, Instagram and wherever you get your social media at Drip Show Shop, right there for you. Go ahead, follow him, send him a message, say, hey, Drip, I need this, blah, 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 blah. And he'll let you know if he can do it for you. And if you do, you'll get a great gift, whether it's for yourself, for a hard-working 2025, or for someone else to get them started on 2026. There's no better way to start your year than a great gift from at Trip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Also, as well, of course, the Lakerholics crew, Lakerholics.com. Big shout out to those guys. Hopefully, they'll be back this weekend. They'll be, I guess, ending all their vacation trips for the Christmas holiday season. Hopefully, we'll get them back. And big shout out to my friend, John Costa at Lakers Corner. Please like and subscribe to all of his social media so he gets you those 3-minute game reports. He will not be on again tonight. He hopes to be back on by Tuesday, but we'll see. I know he's been a little bit under the weather, and I'll just say this. Feel better, my friend. Hopefully John Costa will be feeling better, be back on the show ASAP for everyone out there. So great time indeed. Also want to go ahead and give some love out there to everyone out there that's going ahead and just been patient with the Lakers. And I've seen all your comments. In fact, I touched on a lot of them over the past 5 years in the previous days. I've been cleaning up a few things on the channel, and hopefully you got my responses back. So, but I'll tell you what, I'm trying to get back to your responses a lot sooner. So hopefully you will go ahead and share your thoughts on the Lakers or us. And it's usually swinging a lot one way or the other right here, always at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Again, I'm the only one. AR must be your cousin or something. No, not my cousin. Is he your cousin? I would like that to be the case, because then in the summer of 2026, I'd be like, hey, cousin, how are you? Yes, right when he's signing on the dotted line for a brand new contract for whatever that is, for whoever that is. Yes, so a lot of us would like to be Austin Reeves' cousin coming up here in a few months. But the Lakers, they came into tonight reeling from several games in a row loss. losses, as far as we saw with the Clippers, with, of course, what happened in Phoenix, and then Christmas night against Houston. They've been 4-6 in their last 10 games, and JJ was absolutely incensed. He was threatening the world. He's going to make a million changes, especially with AR out of the lineup for a month with his left calf strain, I believe it is, out for an entire month. So he's going to make a ton of changes because he was so upset with the Lakers defense, which has been pretty bad, to say the least, as we've said many times on this show as of late. But with all that, he had said that he was going to make all these changes. And in doing so, only made one real change. And that was, of course, Marcus Smart. Lineup for Austin Reeves. But another big addition, he said he would say, is that getting Nick Smith Jr. into the rotation a little bit more because you didn't have Gabe Vincent there or Nick Smith there as well. So with that, and with those guys playing out there, how would it look with this altogether new lineup of one person in there? And as far as in the rotation with Nick Smith Jr. in there as well. So that's two. So there you go. So what would happen as they faced off against the Sacramento Kings? Well, Sacramento Kings back to back looked a little tired, but you know what? The Lakers still got off to a okay note with a 30-24 lead at the first quarter. It was pretty close at times. I know that I could see all over Twitter the Lakers experts and Lakers reporters just talking about how the Lakers starting lineup defense was not really impressing everyone as far as that out there. The effort didn't seem to be still up to the standards, but they still got the lead in the first quarter, 30-24. It was the second and third quarters where they really established themselves, outscoring Sacramento 38-29 in the second quarter, and then 31-27 in the third. Getting off to a good start early in the third quarter, and then never looking back as they held the lead by as many as, I believe, 28. I don't think they ever got to the 30-point. I could be wrong on that, but it got pretty easy. And they just never really let it go, which was great for the Lakers fans that they finally did not have a big lead that they gave up and finally are back over as far as the differential is concerned, because coming into today, even though with their record at 19-10 coming in, they had a negative differential. Now it's back on the positive side after the big victory tonight, 125-101. Nick Smith Jr. was that new addition to the rotation, two-way player coming in, and he had, like he did earlier this season, against Portland in Portland. If everybody remembers that game, he had another lights out game with 21 points. Absolutely went first 7 for 7 to start out the game. Was absolutely fantastic. Coming off the bench, giving us 21 points. Jake LaRavia also gave us 11 off the bench. LeBron James had 24, and Luka Doncic had by the way, 34 points and 7 assists. Lakers, again, they established themselves early. They established themselves in that second and third quarter and just cruised to an easy victory for once for us. Yay! 125-101. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Craig, how you doing, my friend? Happy holidays and happy new year to each and every one of you. Happy new year to you, Craig. Really, truly appreciate it. Drip Show, as always, again, at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Dave, what's going on? Trade Austin for Jalen Johnson from the Hawks. Unfortunately, you cannot do that. A, because the Hawks probably won't give up Jalen Johnson. B, because there are certain salary constraints. Jalen is on a far more expensive contract than Austin. You would have to give up several pieces, and logistically, it probably wouldn't work right now. The player that maybe the Hawks would want to trade at this point is the guy that's going to be the other marquee free agent outside of Austin Reeves this summer, and that is Trae Young. So maybe look in that direction if Atlanta is leaning to get rid of him as well. But what's going on, guys? LFB fanboy. Well, hello, LFB fanboy. This win proves we are better than OKC, Houston, Denver, and San Antonio. Merry late Christmas, Gerald. I appreciate the Merry Christmas, late Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. I don't think this win proves anything on that, and I think you know that. I think you just like putting that stuff up there, but that's okay. We like it. We like it. Wishing you a blessed New Year as well, LFB fanboy. I don't think that it does prove anything. It's against a team that plays on a back to back, and the Sacramento does not have the most sparkling win loss record. I think it's what 7 wins, if I'm not mistaken. 8 wins. I'm sorry, 8 wins. So I don't think a 24-point win over an 8-win team does really a whole lot to establish anything other than, you know what, it's a win, gets us back on track. We play the Detroit Pistons, who will not be the most happiest campers in the world because they just got their butts kicked by Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers in those terrible orange jerseys as I was watching them with the feed that we got on our Discord. And I think, what Kawhi got 55 points. So, yes, they will not be happy campers. Let's see what happens when you've got a decent team coming into the crypt on Tuesday night. So let's see what happens there. And then we'll go ahead and we may start talking just a little bit. But to put them ahead of OKC, Houston, Denver, San Antonio, I know you're just jesting at this point. Tony says Nick Smith Jr. We need players like him. He's a scorer. He's a scorer, Tony. But the question is, can he continue that? Giving, I'm not asking for 20 points off the bench in each every time. Would be great, but if he can give you 10 to 13 points a game, and play solid enough defense, as far as aggressive defense. The reason why he was let go by Charlotte was because of his defense. So we'll see if that, he is a little bit smaller guard too. So we'll see if that, as far as his effectiveness can be still maintained as far as at least him getting a good amount of points, 10 to 13 in this time, because we will be seeing more of him while Gabe Vincent and Austin Reeves are out of the lineup, according to JJ. And I'm glad because it gives the kid an opportunity to go ahead and prove himself in this league. And that's what we're hoping that he'll be able to do. Juan, what's up? How you doing, my friend? I hate bringing this up, but we play better defense without Reeves. We have enough scoring on this team. Well, Reeves is not a good defender. We've mentioned that before. When he focused too much on defense, his offense is terrible. He focuses more on offense because he knows that's what he's going to be getting a bigger paycheck for. And he's terrible on defense. We saw him, whether it was he'll say maybe it was his injury, what have you, on Christmas. But yeah, he was absolutely terrible on the defensive end, has been for the majority of the season. So I'm not going to sit here and argue with you on that. We have enough scoring on this team. Reeves is Simmons. We can get is Simmons. Reeves is Simmons on this team. Reeves is Simmons. We can get rid of a good 3-and-D. Please talk about this. Well, again, I don't know Reeves' Simmons. I don't know what you're talking about. Ben Simmons, he just bought a pro fishing team. So maybe he's more focused on fishing right now. Ben Simmons is. So I don't know if that would be good. And he looked kind of washed when he was with the Clippers last season. So at this point, the question is, will Rob make a move? Yeah, that's the deal. I think a lot of people are talking about. The Lakers have such limited assets, but the one thing that they do have are expiring contracts. Who are the teams that are going to be interested in the Lakers expiring contracts? And so if you want to give up Reeves, that means you don't want to sign him to what he's going to be asking for in the offseason. And right now, I think a lot of people are kind of like on the fence. They love him when he scores 30, and they don't love him when he gives up 30. So I think if you're looking at a Reeves Luka backcourt for your future for the next 5 years, you better have some of the best defensive players on the planet because you're really stuck for a loop there. So my guess and I guess my interest at this point is to see if the Lakers would commit to trading him, but what can they get? Because remember, he's not on a very NBA terms wise, not on a very large contract. So they are limited in what they can get back for him. So there's a quandary there. He's outplaying his contract by a large amount currently. But if you trade him, what can you trade him for? Because you'll be looking to get something commensurate to what he gives you as a team. So it's a kind of rock and a hard place type deal. But yeah, if you're not going to commit the 30, 40, $50 million he'll be asking for in the offseason, then you probably want to look to trade him in the not too distant future by the February deadline. What's up, DBSH? Yo, please go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe to Daniel Barry Sports Highlights out there on YouTube. He's over 10,000 subscribers. Congratulations, DBSH, once again. Looking forward to seeing more great highlights from you, my friend. Vari's in here. Sports Baby, what's up? This one proves also AR needs to go. Well, again, a lot of people are talking about, but this is a win against an 8-win team. This team has only won 8 times out there on the platform. So I don't know if I would want to go ahead and stress on that. So LFU fanboy, I know you're putting stuff out there to put stuff out there, but slow down a little bit on that. Daniel DBSH, yeah, it's easy win. Very nice to have an easy win. Once again, Niners won. Shake my head. You know what? All I care about is Jawan Jennings catching that touchdown when I had a 20-point lead in my money league on fantasy football, and Christian McCaffrey was on the other team, and he had actually made up that entire 20-point gap, and the other team was leading me by a point and a half until Jawan Jennings actually scored that final touchdown. He only caught 2 passes all game, so that was crazy, absolutely crazy. Dave says again, I'm not the only one saying AR must be your cousin or something. Oh, were you saying it to Juan? I don't know who you were saying it to, Lloyd, if I was mistaken on that. So, not my cousin, but again, I would like it to be my cousin when he's with the new team. Intel, what's up, my friend? El Rosto, there you go with the super chat. And Intel, I see yours coming up. Rui and DA, both 24. Yay, this is your thing, of course. It's not a perfect metric by any stretch of the imagination, El Rosto, but it is a decent sign at times. And today, Rui and DA. Now, Rui coming off the donut at Christmas time, that wasn't too pleasant to watch. But today, 12 points. And DeAndre Ayton, 11 and 11. Not world-beating numbers, but again, like you said, they were plus 24 when they're out there. Luka was plus 22, and LeBron James was plus 20. So absolutely, just a fantastic performance when you can get that. So when they were out there, this starting lineup, including Marcus Smart, who did get a donut in 20 minutes, plus 10 for him, they were out there. They were positive, and that's all you can ask out there for these guys. So truly appreciate the effort. A little bit better effort this time around, and of course, it was 125 to 101. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts out there. Again, thank you so much. Yes, somebody needs to play better defensively. Intel Wild is saying absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Looking forward to seeing better efforts on the defensive end like this more often, but Nick Smith Jr., he says, needs to play a lot more. Yes, absolutely agree with you on that. And hopefully we'll see. He is on a 2-way contract. He cannot be signed to a full-length contract until I believe it's January 18th. But for now, there's still plenty of games left on his 2-way deal. So we should see him more often. JJ has specifically stated that in the absence of Austin and Gabe Vincent, we will be seeing as far as him there a lot more often. Juan says, "Come on, Jared, bring up how you play better. How we play better defense without Reeves. This guy is no better." Juan, okay, calm down. I just said that if you commit to a Luka and Austin backcourt, it's a very poor defensive backcourt. I don't know what you want me to say because I've told you he has been very bad on defense this season. So Nick Smith Jr. is not a noted defender, but he was aggressive and tried hard on the defensive end. I'll give him that. And of course, what we saw on the offensive end certainly paid dividends this evening. There you go, indeed. You guys want me to say certain things like LA is ready to pick up a title or this and that, that. I'm going to tell you the truth. Always the truth when it comes to the Lakers. Sometimes it's a harsh truth. Sometimes it's not the truth you want to hear, but it's reality of what it is. And sometimes you guys need reality checks. But Austin Reeves, he's been terrible defensively. There's just no question about it. Now, again, were they better defensively? Yes, they were better defensively tonight without Austin. And we'll see how it goes over the course of the next month. We're going to get a good gauge on exactly what is going on with this team. But also here today, good man indeed. It is, of course, the guy from I Got Next Sports Media. It is Legend. Legend, how you doing, my friend?
I'm pretty good. How about you, Gerald?
Doing good, my friend. The Lakers with the victory tonight. A little bit better defensive effort tonight, obviously resulting in a lot easier points and a lot easier game for the team. I don't want to put too much into it because the Sacramento Kings only have 8 wins on the season, but still, a win is a win for a team that's been reeling like the Los Angeles Lakers, and I will definitely take that.
I totally agree. Yeah, the Kings are, not that great, but a win is a win. It starts from somewhere, and that's what these type of wins you kind of need when you're going through a hard time. You just need to pick up a good win and somewhere to start off to fix the mistakes and everything. And they got the win tonight. That's the most important part, and they got to get ready for Detroit.
Thameless is asking, Gerald, do you think the right moves in the summer is to sign Reeves for around 3 years, $100 million, and then trade him? Well, they'll probably have to commit to 5 years, is what I'm seeing. Is if the Lakers sign him, they will probably only, if you're his management team, you're probably only be asking for a 4 or 5 year deal. If he's a free agent and signs with another team, it would probably be a 3 or 4 year deal because the max he can sign for somewhere else is 4 years. The Austin Reeves question is going to be paramount over the next month. Why you don't have Austin Reeves in the lineup, Legend? He has been terrible on defense. It's just been that. Let's just be plain. The top 3 players on the Lakers team have been terrible on the defensive end. And if your top 3 players are that bad defensively, the Lakers just don't have they don't have the players behind them to make up for their defensive deficiencies. If Austin, we get a longer look and the team is actually playing better as far as without him, just like Trae Young. The thing is, the same thing is with Trae Young,
Hmm.
with the Atlanta Hawks, with your Atlanta Hawks. Do you commit to keeping him or do you commit to trading him before the February deadline? Although you really realistically can't get a whole lot based on his current dollar contract.
Yeah, I've already kind of got to the point where I'm like, we might have to move Trey Young because the no defense part is unacceptable, and the team looks they look a whole lot better without him. And yeah, Trey Young will add more firepower to the offense, but defense win championships. That's how it always has been, and that's something that the Hawks just haven't did. And for the Lakers, I feel like they're gonna have to make a decision when it comes down about those three because you can't have your three best players single handed don't play no defense. LeBron, he's about to be 41 this week. That's understandable that he don't play defense. Is that still excusable? No, he's making a lot of money. But I kind of understand for him. AR and Luca, there's no excuses. You're young. You got to put some type of defense. Sometimes. I'm not saying you got to be great. I ain't saying you got to be like defensive team, anything like that. Just decent. And that's something they just haven't been. And I think the Lakers gonna have to make a decision on that this summer. You're gonna have to decide. Luca, your main guy. LeBron gonna come off the book, so that's one thing they're gonna come off the books. The AR part you got to really think about. Do you really believe that with two people who can't play defense, can you win? You got to really set your team up a specific way to make up for that defense issue because it's gonna still be there if you sign AR long term. So that's stuff you got to think about. That's a hard decision. It's hard. And I think they're gonna have to make that decision this summer. I really think that's something they're going to really think about, especially if all of a sudden their defense look better. The next couple of games while he ain't there, man, that's gonna make us a stronger case to maybe do a signing trade with AR. Lock him up and trade him off somewhere.
I don't know what you guys are talking about when it comes to a no trade clause. I'm trying to read back your comments out there. Again, thank you for the comments, by the way. It's always great to have you guys talking out there. I don't know. LeBron is the one I know that has a no trade clause. So you can't
Hmm.
trade LeBron. No one else on the Lakers has a no trade clause at this point in time. So I'm not aware of any of these other guys that have a no trade clause. I know you cannot You right now you could trade up to 90. There's about 90% of the players out there are eligible to be traded, and almost all of the rest of the players become eligible on the January 15th as well, except for ones that do have no trade clauses or that they signed extensions a little bit later. Because if they did, then that also makes them ineligible for trade. But the only one I know that on the Lakers that has a no trade clause is LeBron. And sorry guys, I don't think he's going to go anywhere else this season
I don't
unless
even.
he wants to. But the Lakers again, 20-10, finally getting to the 20 win mark. Again, struggling 4 out of the last 10 coming into the game. I'm not making too much out of it, unlike Juan, who says yes, they did beat the King. The Kings did beat some good teams, but they're 8-23. So you can only take so much out of it when a team is 8-23.
Need to
But
beat a good
yes,
team.
yes. Let's see how they do on Tuesday against Detroit, because Detroit will be coming in there very angry, Legend. Tuesday, coming off of Kawhi torching them for 55 in a rout over the Pistons on Sunday night. So that's let's get a
Mm.
victory over Detroit on Tuesday, and then we can start talking about whether or not the Lakers can still remain competitive without Austin Reeves for next month in the Western Conference.
It's definitely gonna be interesting seeing how things go the next couple of months. Because I personally, I'm thinking Austin Reed might be out to All Star break. That's what I'm thinking for them. They're being precautious wise with him. I'm expecting probably be going to All Star time period. So it's gonna be interesting to see how things look these next couple of games without him. And I want to see what JJ do to start with his lineup too. 'Cause we all know JJ can be a little stubborn, and we're gonna see if we're gonna make the changes that need to be done. He did one thing tonight, Gerald. I was a little not that happy about, but
Mhm.
it still worked. I really think he could take Rui out of the lineup. I think it's about that time. This is me personally.
He is coming off the donut on Christmas today. It was actually 12 points. I'm not a great game by any standards, but Rui was more effective in the lineup today. But I get what you're saying. Uh, I mean, his defense has also come into question because of where he plays alongside LeBron, and so much work has to be done because we all know that again, LeBron at turning 41 on Tuesday when they play the Detroit Pistons, whether or not he gives and what kind of effort he gives on that defensive end, and sometimes it's not, or sometimes it's little. In the past few games, we've seen it come back to haunt the Lakers, but not just him. Luka's been terrible on defense. All these
Mhm.
guys have been terrible on defense communication, so much so that JJ has called them out in the past couple of days. How much do you think, before we get to a question by T3 about your Atlanta Hawks, how much do you think those nasty words in public and then the supposed, Saturday practice from hell, quote unquote, that was supposed to be, so that he's going to point out everything, and then the Lakers were warned about how terrible this practice is going to be. How much of that went into today's performance did you see as far as their bounce back is concerned?
I will say I think there was definitely better effort wise. Um, that's one thing I will give JJ credit on. He do call the team out. That's something you do need to see from coaches, because some coaches do be afraid to call out their stars like LeBron and Luka. You need to get to the point where forget about their feelings. They're the players, you the coach, call them out. So that part I give him credit for doing. And it looks like they did better. It looked like they responded pretty well today. They played with better effort. DA, everyone like they gave a lot better effort than they did on Christmas Day. Christmas Day, they went out there and embarrassed themselves and Laker Nation pretty much all together. But tonight, they looked like they went and played ball, and they played with a little more effort, a little more concern about the ball game tonight. So I can at least say they responded pretty well. I will say, JJ, just be careful, man, with the way you call them out now. Be careful, bro. Because at the end of the day, I kind of agree with Kendrick Perkins on one thing. You ain't got that status yet. You got no rings, no none of that. Sometimes that can backfire. So you just gotta be careful how often you do that.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching and listening. The Lakers win 125-101. They now take sole possession of fourth place in the Western Conference with a 20-10 record. They play the Detroit Pistons coming up in their next game. I believe it's on Tuesday. I want to make sure to confirm that that's the case. So, with that, my friend, I wanted to go ahead and touch on one quick question on your Atlanta Hawks from T3. He's asking if Zachary Ricochet is available on the market. I'm assuming because he was the number one overall draft pick in a very disappointing draft overall. He's been giving you nothing but mediocre numbers across the board as whether a starter or a backup player. He just seems like someone that could be on the block. I don't know if how wanted out there he is by other teams though. That's the problem.
I wouldn't be surprised they try to move him, but just like you said, Drew, I just don't know how many people gonna really want him. Because that was just, call it for what it is. That was a weak draft. And so far, that weak draft has shown to be pretty weak right now. I'm thinking what their best player from that draft right now is coming off the bench for the Houston Rockets right now. So, I think he's gonna be in the trade him block. I think we're gonna probably look to move him to get something better. But just how many people really want him, and how much people gonna be really willing to give up for him. If it was
Same
me,
thing
I'm
with
not
Trey
gonna give up
Young.
that much.
Same thing with
I'm not gonna give him much.
yeah.
You know, Trey Young, he don't play no defense. I mean, he got offense, he play no defense.
Yeah. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. And again, how good are the Atlanta Hawks since he's come back? Although you guys will be getting Kristaps Porzingis, I believe, for the Tuesday game, if the reports have it, what's happened after a long illness and weird things still continuing. So hopefully he's finally shaken these illness issues and can get back on the court for your Atlanta Hawks. But we'll have to wait and see. But for the Lakers, again, they played Tuesday against the Detroit Pistons, but with the Lakers, it is about the defense as a talking point. And I know Marcus Smart was in there today for Austin Reeves, which if he stays healthy and stays out there is going to be the status norm for going for the next month. But Nick Smith Jr. was brought in, the two-way player who's had a couple pretty good games, including one against Portland. He came in today, lit up the Kings 7-7 to start off the game, ended with 21 points. I'm not expecting 21 points out from a two-way player, but he could be one of those success stories the league's had this season with two-way players who could help you over the entire season. But we'll see. Again, they have a month without Austin Reeves. Who knows how much longer Gabe Vincent's going to be out? That's going to give plenty of opportunity for a guy like Nick Smith Jr. to prove himself to the Lakers.
I agree. He got a good chance right now to show the Lakers and even the rest of the NBA what he can do. Even if the Lakers don't pick him up like that, he might get picked up by another team. So this is an opportunity that he needs to take full advantage of. If I was him, I would maximize every amount of time that you get. Because in the NBA, it's hard to get that amount of time period. It's hard to have a chance to really get seen when regular guys come back into the rotation. So when guys are out, that's your best chance to go out there, show them what you can do, show him what talent you got, what you can do on both sides of the ball, and this is his time. He got to come out here and show the Lakers what he got. Because who knows, when the mothers start coming back, your time is most likely going to dwindle right back down. So you got the next month or so while them guys are out. Take advantage. Go put up some numbers, put up some decent numbers, and play extremely good on that defensive side of the ball. And you'll probably find yourself getting some rotational minutes.
Absolutely, indeed. By the way, I do not know the mysterious illness that Kristaps Porzingis has had, but it is something that they've been dealing with since his time in Boston. They've run numerous tests both here and I believe in Europe as well, where he went back during the summer, and he is coming back from it on Tuesday. But they don't even tell you what the
Yeah,
illness is.
I don't
So
know.
I do not think it's what you mentioned best. I think that they've run tests specifically would include that. And if that would have come back, I'm sure that would have already been made public. But you may be right. I don't know. At this point, nobody seems to know what that is. Just I'm wishing for good health in the new year for Kristaps Porzingis because it's been really sad to see him out the floor with this mysterious illness, whatever that is. But getting back to the Lakers again, you're seeing that the Lakers, even with that 3-game slide and only winning 4 out of the last 10, legend, that they've been able to stay somewhat in the race in the Western Conference because of these other teams like San Antonio losing at home to the Utah, Minnesota losing at home to Brooklyn, Denver losing on the road to Orlando. All these teams are not taking advantage of OKC when OKC was down. While OKC won big today, could that have been a mistake by these other teams that they weren't focused on beating and just winning the games that they should so that they could stay close to OKC before OKC might right its ship and go on possibly another run?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of teams they made that mistake. I noticed that too. A lot of teams like Denver and Minnesota lost to teams you should beat, and that's what put Oklahoma in such a beautiful spot right now. It look like the Spurs has their number right now for sure. But I mean, anyway, as long as everybody else gonna keep dropping games that they should win, they ain't gotta worry about nobody catching up to them at this point. Honestly, I don't think nobody gonna catch up to them at this point. I think they're gonna be probably okay in that number one spot. It's gonna take a lot of games for them boys to be dropping before they can really get caught up. Even though I know Denver and all them they're not that far behind, but them guys, even Houston, they're dropping games that you gotta win, and that's the way it is. So they shouldn't have to really too much worry about nobody catching up to them, but it's still a chance. But Houston, them they gotta win. They gotta win these games they're supposed to win. And I'm really am surprised though Denver lost to Orlando. Though I really thought they would have closed that out, but stuff happens.
Well, the Spurs losing to the Jazz at home, coming off the high of 3 wins in 10 days, or is it, yeah, 10 to 12 days over the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's the one that's unforgivable to
Mhm.
me. That's the one you should be
Yeah,
ready to kill any other team, especially a team that is 11th place in the Western Conference. Legend. That is absolutely inexcusable because it's those type of losses which will never allow you to bridge the gap. Because OKC, if they get a stretch of games that are with some easily beatable teams, they could go on another 8, 10, 15 game winning streak and just put everyone away, even though everyone sees that OKC's has some flaws
yeah,
right
they
now.
got some weaknesses.
Yeah.
You are right about that, and it's a very good chance Oklahoma's going to end up doing it when they get to a very good certain spot of their schedule. They'll start going on that 8, 7 game winning streak. But that's on everybody else. It's like Spurs, you can't lose to the Utah Jazz. It's just some games you just can't lose. These teams got to realize you got to beat teams that you're supposed to beat. Point blank simple. If teams are like outside of that play in, you should beat them. There's no question about it. They're like the Lakers tonight. They beat the Kings. You're supposed to do that. Automatic. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to handle your business. Houston, you supposed to beat the Kings. Nuggets, you're supposed to beat Orlando. I think Orlando is in the playoff picture. You just got to beat teams you're supposed to beat. That's the only way you're gonna be able to catch up to Oklahoma. You got to beat the team that you are supposed to beat. OKC does have a flaw. Spurs expose that part. Right now, it look like the Spurs the only one that can expose it right now. That's the truth right now. Like the Spurs the only one who can. Let's see what everybody else can do when they get a chance to go against them too. But if you're gonna catch them, you got to win these games. It's point blank something. You got to win games you're supposed to win.
Once again, it is the Lakers winning 125 to 101. It is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, along with me, Terrell Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. We'll be on Tuesday night for our post game again with the Lakers and Detroit Pistons. I'll try to sneak in another NBA observations as well. I got to reach out to Legend here. Hopefully, I can get him on an NBA observations before the week is done, and we can schedule that. So, always trying to give you guys some content right here at the Lakers Fast Break. One, I know really he's got those really I want to say I don't want to say hater because hater is just too strong a word. Just he's just not feeling with Austin Reeves. And Juan, I'm not sitting here. I'm saying otherwise. I'm not going to sit here and defend Austin and say that. All I can tell you is this: we're talking about a guy that went undrafted. We're paying him a salary in the mid-teens, $1 million wise. So if you're not going to commit to him, all I say is this: if you're not satisfied, he is going to be the player that you're going to commit to for 5 years, because that's what he's going to be asking for is 5 years from the Lakers or 4 years from another team. He's not going to be asking for just three. He's going to be asking for this is his time. He's 28 years old. This is his time to commit to it. So, Legend, If you don't want to commit to him, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and I wouldn't cry spilt milk over it. I think again, you built an undrafted player to a guy that could be named to the All Star team, that could be earning that type of salary. So I think it's just gravy on the potatoes there because you are this is found money. This is the absolute best that you're going to see an undrafted player play or thereabouts. But if you hate his defense so much, which I can't blame Juan or anybody else out there for doing so, because again, if you commit to Austin Reeves, you are committing to him and Luka with one of the worst defensive backcourts in the NBA, starting defensive backcourts in the NBA. So you're committing to that. If you commit to that, that's a really hard sell for guys like Juan and a lot of people out there. And that's really hard sell because I don't think Rob is able to surround them with the type of defenders you need to take them a long way in the playoffs. So with that, you have to make sure that when he comes back in a month, that he plays to the level that he can to make him more attractive in a trade. But that's the problem, Legend. What could you get for a guy playing so well that isn't making a whole lot? It makes it harder to trade for the same type of value. But if you're going to not commit to him long term, you have to get something before he walks away for nothing.
You're right about that. You can't let him walk away from nothing. I understand that some people don't want to commit to a long term. Just like I agree with Joe in the chat. He's not affecting Luka. Him and Luka really actually play well together. My part, I kind of back and forth on about Reeves. It's the no defense part. That's the part I'm like, they gotta figure out something about the defense part. You can't have two dudes who can't play defense on a park car. That's the part you just can't have. It just, so LeBron gonna be off the books. I ain't even worry about LeBron no more. He be gone. But you gotta figure out something. Yeah, you gonna have to specifically build a team that cover up both the weaknesses. And I just don't know, can you do it? I don't know. It just, that's concerning. That is a little concerning. So I can understand where some people want to ship Reeves out. I can understand that part because the truth is neither of your two best players, they can't play defense to play their life. That's just the truth. That's the truth right there. Neither one of them part can't guard us if they try to, honestly. Uh, but you gotta do something. They gotta, if you're gonna keep them, you gotta really build that team specifically. And I don't know if Rob can do it. I just don't know, can he really be the one to get that job done properly?
Intel Wild says if we don't make any trades this season, thank you again for the super chat, Intel. We won't have $100 plus to spend this summer. I mean, what we have, excuse me, won't we have $100 million plus to spend this summer? You'll have a lot of money. You'll have close to that. I think between 80 and $100 million. I forgot the exact figure, but it is going to be a ton of money, starting with the 52.6 million that walks away with LeBron when he is off his contract. Plus, you've got Austin's if you just let him walk. You've got Gabe's if you just let him walk. Same thing with Rui. Same thing with Maxi. If those guys walk, and if also as well, Marcus Smart opts out, he can walk. That's money off the books. And same thing with DeAndre Ayton. So yeah, when it totals out, it could be up to $100 million plus this summer. That's great. That's awesome because that starts the plan that Rob was talking about, or Rob has envisioned that Rich Paul was talking about over the course of the season, summer. That obviously got a lot of note. But the thing is, Legend, I think with a lot of Lakers fans, they want a winner now. They want a team that they feel can compete in the Western Conference right now. What is the smart way? What is the smart moment? What is the smart direction right now for this team? Do you commit to trying to build something around Luka now? Or do you just wait and let the money fall off the books and try to rebuild this summer or in 2027?
Um, I feel with me, I'm trying to go now. I would be attempting to try to compete every season right now because Luka's in his prime. You don't want to waste it because you don't know when Luka prime gonna end. That's the part we don't know, when he'll start to decline. So I would say you got to go all in every season you got. Just about. You need to at least try and attempt. Um, me personally, Gerald, I would say Maybe chat might disagree with me on this part, and that's okay. I probably would punt this season almost about this point. I thought this season went through a lot of turmoil. I probably would be like, "Well, this season over. We ain't winning this year." I think we can almost all can agree to that. It probably ain't happening this year. So I would make moves and get ready for next year at the most. Make the necessary trade that's gonna benefit me next year in the future. So I would go all in every season I go. You don't know how long that prime gonna last. So I would say go all in every season you got. You got Luke, you got to go all in.
I know that Johnny, who I believe is still, I don't know if he's still, are you still a fanboy of the Sacramento Kings? I think you are. He said Keon Ellis is, as far as Lakers are interested in. If Keon Ellis becomes available, again, Johnny, we've talked about Keon Ellis on this show. Keon Ellis is a guy scored 23 last night, did not score very well tonight, but he is someone who's been in the doghouse. He's played minutes.
Hmm.
He started. He's been in the doghouse. Seems to be valued around the rest of the league a lot higher than what they value him in Sacramento at times, because we could find him on the bench or coaching DNP by the end of the week. It's seemingly Doug Christie just seems to have all over the place. He has Keon Ellis. So with that though, again, yes, I understand Keon Ellis. In fact, Laker Tom has had a man crush on him all season. With that, though, Malik Monk, the Lakers, remember, had Malik Monk, and they couldn't afford to retain him because they were limited by what they could sign him for, and he found more money in Sacramento. So, yeah, they could get those guys here, but are they world beaters? The way that they're playing right now for an 8-20 and 23 team, I don't think that changes the dimension of what the Lakers will be if they get a Keon Ellis and Malik Monk, but it would be a step in the right direction, Legend.
I did. I think it'd be a step in the right direction too. Because they fit the time frame with Luca was. So that's not a bad pickup. It's in the time frame. You're getting some guys who can play on both sides of the ball. So it's not a bad move at all. And like I say, it fits long term. So I would do it if it's available. And long as the price ain't, asking too much, I would go for it. 'Cause, I mean, right now, what you got in your roster is not working. So does it hurt to make a tweak? I would do it. Like I said, I would say forget this season, worry about next season. This season, I think it's over. It's probably not happening. So I would make the necessary changes to put myself in a better situation for the upcoming season and make the necessary moves you need now. Get what you need, and then go get what you really, really need this upcoming summer when you got LeBron and a lot of them guys coming off your books.
Well, that's the thing. Even if the Lakers move all those other salaries, LeBron, who has a no trade clause, does still come off the books, and that's 53 million. That could potentially be used based, of course, on what they have as far as the allowance on the salary cap, and that obviously we'll have to wait and see. So, if they bring players back, how many years and how much money are they committed to on the players that we bring back in those trades to see if we can still utilize LeBron's 52.6 million or close to it as far as that value out in the marketplace for a trade. And yes, after Trey, after Austin, the choices for free agents is not going to be large. So it would have to most likely be a trade. And remember, the Lakers do not have multiple first round draft picks until draft day of next year, guys. So that's the first day and only the only day for the foreseeable future that they'll have 3 first round picks to move, and that is on draft day
Mhm.
of 2026. So we'll have to wait and see if they do utilize that indeed. But Legend, I do want to ask. I think that LFB fanboy
Oh,
asked about Risa Shea. Is he someone that the Lakers should be interested in, or do you think that the Atlanta Hawks will want too much to move him right now?
I would say keep looking. He does fit the time frame with the youth part, but I feel like you want somebody who is young and a little more proven. So I would still say keep looking out there. And no, you do not want Trey Young. You just train you still got the same issue. Might be worse, honestly. I don't think you want Trey Young for all three. That makes no sense. It's just same problem still exists. Offense can play offense, can't play on defense. That's not gonna help you. That's not what you need, man. That's
No.
that's not helping nothing.
Yeah, Trey Young on the Lakers would make no difference at all. I don't think it would be any good, especially bringing another scorer. That's something that the Lakers don't need with Luka, LeBron, and then when Austin Reeves comes back. But again, trading Austin Reeves, I'm open to it. Again,
Yeah,
if
I
you're
would be
not
open to it too.
yeah, if you're not committing to him, if you're in El Segundo right now and you're in the office with Rob Palinka and all that, and you're not committing to him, then you have to go ahead and find some value for him before the trade deadline. But as far as Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, who I get asked and talked about every day on this show, again, I said this past summer that those two guys would be tremendous additions to the Lakers rotation, and I think they would be great fits on the Lakers rotation. But New Orleans, it would be the dumbest organization in the league to get rid of two guys just like that and just entering in their primes that are both athletic, tall, can defend, and in the case of Trey Murphy, can really score and shoot from long distance. Herb Jones is like you don't know long distance what you're getting from one game to the next, but he is a
Mhm.
very good defender, which is something the Lakers sorely need. Again,
Well, Gerald,
that's see, everybody points to that, and that's the thing. If a Herb Jones or a Trey Murphy becomes available tomorrow, I think Atlanta, San Antonio, uh, OKC, there are a number of teams that have more options to choose to trade than the Lakers, and that's part of the problem as well.
I will say I wouldn't be surprised or New Orleans something stupid since they gave away their pick to the Atlanta. So I ain't surprised when they do nothing crazy over there. They well
Yeah, it
known for
looked
doing
pretty
stuff like
dumb.
that.
It looked pretty dumb at the time, but Queen is going to be a good player. He can't play
Yeah,
defense. He's not a rim protector, but if you get a rim protector of any skill alongside Queen later on, maybe if you trade Zion, then you watch out for New Orleans in coming years. But
yeah.
Queen has actually been pretty good for them, I must admit. So it's not going unless it's Peterson, unless it's any of those top three guys, JD, Banza, that guy, as far as the top three, or Cameron Booker. Those guys are really at the top of the list. So if they get one of those guys, then it'll probably look bad. If they get DeBonsa, Boozer, or Peterson, excuse me, yeah, those guys are at the top of the list. But Queen's not been bad. Queen's not been bad for New Orleans so far.
He has been pretty good. He's one of them young pieces though that look promising for the future. I do think they're gonna eventually move off of Zion. I do think that is coming. It's like don't know if it's true or not, but I keep hearing Anthony Davis to the Warriors a lot. I don't not too crazy about that either. But there's some pieces I think made them moving for sure. But New Orleans got some interesting pieces. I see a lot of people would love to have. I did get the feeling though, Trey Murphy for all of it's gonna be high asking prices. They know a lot of people want them, so they're gonna be asking a lot unless they get desperate and be willing to take some weak trade.
T3, do you want to know how you really want to piss off Joe Soro? Hire Masai Najiri as your next GM over after and you are not going to hear the end of it. That'll be some rants coming from Joe Soro right there, who's in the chat, by the way, guys. And thank you, Joe, for being in the chat, uh, telling everybody kind words as only you can. Get me a guy like Mitchell Robinson. Tough, yeah. Mitchell Robinson, he's going to be, I think, available out to there as a free agent as well. So that's something maybe the Lakers could consider. Although, again, he has his shortcomings, especially on the offensive end. But again, nobody offensive rebounds better than Mitchell Robinson, and he does provide a presence in the paint. So absolutely would like to see that indeed. But once again, the Lakers win 125 to 101. They move to 20-10, fourth place in the Western Conference. But my friend, it's been a great episode. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here. But before we head on out, what are you talking about at I Got Next Sports Media before we head on out?
I am gonna get ready to set up a show for probably Wednesday. 'Cause I'll be back home by Tuesday. I'm probably gonna set up a show Wednesday to talk about everything that's been happening with the NBA so far. I know I haven't had a chance to do a lot of content. 'Cause I've been on the go so much with my girlfriend and side of the family. So I'm probably gonna do a show on Wednesday to catch up on everything that's going on in the NBA. I will probably talk about a little bit of the college football playoff and what's coming. We're gonna talk about the Georgia Bulldogs. I see how they're gonna get ready for their game that coming up. and talk about the next round of the playoff. And then my last thing I want to probably bring up is it time for the G5 and G6 to make their own playoff, or is there gonna still be room at the table for them?
Uh, just to let you guys know, if you're who was it that Anthony Black, yeah, JY Anthony Black makes about half the salary that AR does. So you would have to put in more for along with Anthony Black for AR. But I don't think they would be interested. One, they just traded and gave up essentially four first round draft picks. I mean, you could say what you want about KCP and giving up his contract, but essentially four first round draft picks for a shooting guard. So I don't think they would really have much interest for Austin Reeves. Maybe with Jalen Suggs out of the lineup, I'm not sure. But Anthony Black just scored 38 on Denver, so I'm not even sure if they really are interested in giving him up now. But yes, I see what you see in Anthony Black, but I don't think Orlando would be making that trade anytime in the near future because
Nah, they're
Anthony
not
Black,
gonna do it.
yeah, Anthony Black seems to be like someone that they're growing from within that could be a pretty good player for them going forward. Jalen Suggs, however, if he stays on the court, could be someone that could be made available if with Anthony Black keeps on playing like he is right now. So Jalen Suggs could be the guy that might be on the books, and he plays stellar defense for his team when he's out there, as we saw during the NBA Cup before he got injured. But the problem is he gets injured a lot. But Jalen Suggs could be a name that could be available out there as long as Anthony Black keeps playing at the level he does. So just throwing it out there. But no, they can't keep all those young players because they're all going to get next year. Those extensions are really going to start kicking in. Bankeros, Franz Wagner's, yeah, those are all kicking in. Plus Desmond Baines, hefty contracts. So yeah, they're all going to get pretty pricey. They're in. But Legend, when I get you on the show later this week, let's take some time out on the NBA observations. Let's take some time to go ahead and talk about some real trade scenarios that both teams, whether it's the Lakers or whether it's Atlanta Hawks, Golden State, that are realistic trade options that you could see possibly both teams making. Legend, how about that?
Sounds good.
All right. Once again, it is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Always great to have him on. Again, guys, we'll be back on the 30th, coming at you talking about against the Detroit Pistons, who will not be the happiest campers in the world after because they just got roasted by Kawhi Leonard at 55 points. He had 51 through three quarters, and he just stopped playing, stopped scoring. But they didn't need it because they were up by at least 20 from what I saw. So yeah, they got the big win tonight over Detroit. So Detroit won't be happy heading into the Crypto.com arena against the Los Angeles Lakers. So looking forward to that. Again, Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Hopefully, Joe Sorrell will be back. And by the way, Joe Sorrell had a show earlier today. So if you're a football fan and you like the Steelers and you like to hear rants on the Steelers and you like to hear Mike Tomlin's name mentioned in very negative fashion repeatedly over the course of a show, go ahead on over to the Joe Sorrell experiment right there for you. And you could go ahead and catch what Joe Sorrell had to say earlier today because he was on live. And make sure you like and subscribe. He needs his subscribers out there. Please support his channel. And then last but not least, once again, to my good friend, John Costa. He's been under the weather lately. Wishing him all the best. Please help him out by liking and subscribing to what he does at Lakers Corner as well. He said he was going to try to make Tuesday's game. I hope he doesn't because he's really pushing himself, but I'm really hoping he'll feel better. And I'm hoping everybody will go ahead and have some good words to say for him and also like and subscribe to his channel as well. And hopefully this will lead into a good Lakers 2026 with hopefully a win on the 30th against Detroit. But anything that's going on in the NBA before we head on out, they were fighting, man.
Oh yeah, we getting lots of action.
Okay. Did you ever have, as far as on your next Netflix pay-per-view boxing event, Jose Alvarado at 5 feet whatever facing off against 7 foot Mark Williams?
I did not, but I appreciate the free show though. I had to pay for
Yeah.
that.
It was great. Absolutely. Yeah. Throwing punches too.
I caught Jordan
Jose
Poole off surprise.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Albert, yeah, he's probably like, I don't want to get hit again. And then Alvarado, I think got what 2 games suspension,
Yep.
and Mark Williams got one. So yeah, pretty feisty weekend. A lot of holiday festive spirit out there. But
Same thing with the Bucks game too.
yeah, absolutely. But Joe, you need to put that sentiment towards John Costa in a Hallmark card and send it to him. That would probably be yes.
I'm gonna send
Uh,
him the Jordan the GOAT card.
Yeah, absolutely indeed. But if you always have questions for us, LakersFastBreak at yahoo.com or put it in the comments below. I do read them. I'm trying to get to them. I got through 5, 6 years of old comments over the weekend and caught up with everything. So because in the past days and weeks, I would sometimes not see your comments. It wouldn't pop up on Google. And then when I look back and I finally see it, it's like trapped between a comment that was from a year ago and 3 years ago. And so I clear them all out. I answer them all. And I'm ready to go ahead and answer some more for you guys. And then you guys will always rip on us anyways. So I'm always going to go ahead and tell you what I think as well. But again, please support Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Support my friend Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Go ahead, follow it, and then go ahead and get your 2026 started with a great canvas art like I have, or the pillow as well, right there, or t-shirt or hat. Joe has t-shirts and hats from Drip Show. John has posters, so go ahead and support at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Big shout out to El Rosto and also as well, of course, Intel Wild for their great super chats. And looking forward to having our next NBA observations here soon. And of course, back for the post game for sure on Tuesday against the Pistons right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Have a great evening, everyone. Stay safe and wish you all the best in 2026.